I'd like to call up Giora, Chief Business Officer of Startup Nation Central, and Annie Degani, Head of Business Development, FinSec Innovation Lab, Mastercard.
Hi, Giora. Hi, everybody. Very happy to be here today with everybody. And Giora and I, each one of our own perspective, see ecosystems, see the industry, the technology industry in Israel, outside Israel. And we thought that we would like to provide some reasons for optimism. So I'm Annie Degani. I lead the business development at FinSec Innovation Lab by Mastercard. The lab was established around 3 years ago under a government franchise, the Israel Innovation Authority, the Ministry of Finance, and the Israel National Cyber Directorate. Now, Mastercard is a technology company. I used to say it's not a bank, it doesn't issue cards, and then that's the only thing that people remember, so don't. It's a technology company in the global payment industry, operating in more than 210 countries and territories, with a network of more than thousands of banks, millions of merchants and governments, technology companies. And at the lab, we work with early stage cyber and fintech startups. And when I say early stage, it's very early, sometimes ideation, pre-seed. And we help them conduct a technological POC at the lab with a unique and versatile infrastructure, provide access to government grant for eligible companies, and also provide access to tailor-made business advice, assistance to help these startups scale faster and better internationally. What about you? What about Startup Nation Central?
Yeah, so...
small organization.
Yeah, very small. Like we are 100 people.
Not in Israel.
A building in Lilienblum, Tel Aviv. Nice facility. If some of you haven't yet been there, you've been there. Okay. Myself, Giora, I feel comfortable here since I am like full-time entrepreneur. I've founded a few companies, managed others. Also on the VC side, I led RDC, Rafael Development Corporation, in my past. And in the past 2 years, I'm part of SNC. SNC is a non-for-profit organization, basically became the access gateway for the Israeli tech ecosystem. We are working for the past 11 years to connect companies, VCs to the global markets, global companies, global investors, bringing them over or vice versa in order to make, we call it engagement, but actually it's business engagement. And these days it became even more needed and crucial in recent times to do that. So we are more required in this period. Basically, we have 3 dimensions of infrastructure. We have the data. Some of you may know Startup Nation Finder. It's like Crunchbase for Israel. It's a database with almost 10,000 of organizations, from 7,000 startups to venture capitals to all the tech transfer offices and so on, multinationals. Above it, we have a research team that creates reports and analysis, data that people are using. Above it, we have business departments. One is dealing with business development globally, connecting multinationals and venture capitals, and other are more focused on the local sectors. We have head of sectors and head of project activities in different layers. And it's kind of a matrix structure. When we bring like pharma company to meet with the pharma sector, we create a like challenge or some project in order to create engagements between the two. And the results is business outcome. we measure it, although we don't have our own business, we are non-for-profit, we measure our contribution to the community, either investments or partnership, either business partnership, whatever we measure. We use Salesforce ourselves. The team is over there. So actually, we kind of business development organization for Israel.
Now, you mentioned data, and we know you publish many reports that many of us use. And while the numbers are the same numbers, people may interpret them differently. So would you like to share some of these
same numbers,
perspectives?
people look at it differently.
Yeah.
You can see it in the news. Some look at, on the empty side of the glass, some of the full side, but Nancy, will you?
Some see all the layoffs, and some see the new companies that bring and build R&D centers here. So
Yes. So if we go back to see the wide spectrum, we can see a reduction. Everyone take pictures because you see the reduction in investment. It's a private investment in venture capitals from 21, which was an anomaly, post-corona through 23, like from almost $30 million in VC investment in startups to around 8, which looks, I must say, gloomy. But if we go back to the trends, Nancy, be with us. You have the click. If you look at the global trends, Israel in the top left, you can see that other than the 21 anomaly, we are actually behaving like the rest of the world. Like, we're not different. We are not that different than the rest, where Israel, startup nation went high, very high. We went down a little bit more. But actually, if you take out the anomaly, you can see that the trend is more or less the same. We are not much different in that. Also, if we focus on just the last year-to-date numbers, you can see that looking at the first 5 months of the year, actually, in the private investments, we are more or less even a little bit more than last year, which means that the war didn't have much of an impact on the overall investment, although what you can see is less investments, less rounds. You will have like larger rounds, fewer companies, but altogether the number is more or less the same. What we can also see that more M&As, like in the first 5 months, is about like more than the entire 23 in terms of M&A, and the reason is probably the slipping, the down of the public market. For companies, there is no option to go public, so the alternative is to get acquired or merged into other companies. So both, more or less, it's not that bad. The macro looks okay if you look at that. Yeah.
Well, maybe the macro, also M&As that you mentioned, that can sometimes be from, like we used to see the public market, or instead of an IPO, a company needs to choose a different route. But I also see, I think most of the M&As, if not all of them, were in cyber. And this is also aligned with a global trend of M&As tailoring a more complete suit for clients instead of different products. So even, I assume, even in this situation, we can see that Israel is aligned with the global trend. Hopefully, I'm not sure about the rest of the world's statistics in this case, but many M&As came from Israel this year. So even when things may not be as we would love them to be, we still are aligned with the market, sometimes see the trend. I would like to take to the point, say something about a point. While even if we're aligned with the global trend, we would like always to be better. And we would like to have more startups. It's also aligned with the trend of less and less startups, or less and less new startups every year for the last few years. I think even more than 5. And in a way, what we do, or programs like us, is help building these new companies, these new startups. So in this situation, when we hear about less people want to take the leap and found a new startups, establish a new activity, look at programs like ours. We help, of course, we choose great entrepreneurs and with bright ideas, but we help them scale faster. We help them sharpen their product market fit, connect them with the business. And we see that it's a good framework for early stage startups also to formulate and to get money during this program and afterwards. Now, what have you seen? Have you changed anything since October 7th in your activity?
Since October 7th, but also beforehand, the dramas that we had here in the market before the October 7th, which was escalated in October 7th, we changed some of our focus area to, first of all, to funding, something that we were not very, the market didn't need us that much beforehand. You could see the numbers. Today we have a department with focused area, try to attract venture capitals, family offices, and other type of funder to the local market. We go hunt potential investors, bring them over, create like engagements with startups. And we currently, since the beginning of the year, we brought 23 VCs and different type of other investors to meet with the locals. We go to sessions in Europe, in the United States, and in different places. We found the relevant ones and bring them over. And we start to see first engagements and few investors, and that's part of our activity. The other activity is leverage the new area in the area of defense tech. Defense tech is currently a global challenge, global trend, new war zone, new technology, technology shift create from one hand huge challenges locally and globally, but also new opportunities to the local market, where almost in each sector, from biology to any other sector, there is a potential investment
Physics,
and
mathematics.
Yeah.
So we talk a lot about diversity, and this helps maybe diversify the sectors, vectors, or kind of companies, types of companies that can be created in Israel, which is very important. Like cyber is very important, of course, but we cannot rely on.
But maybe as a multinational,
yeah.
you're part of a global company.
Yeah.
Like, how do you feel the heat or the chill, like from being part of a global company? How do you feel in this situation?
Actually, Mastercard itself grew in the last couple of years from few people to more than 350. Most of it was based on acquisitions. The main one was the acquisition of Dynamic Yield. At the lab, we continue to support companies, new companies, and continue to connect them globally. And from what I see, people are very enthusiastic still about Israeli technology. Our startups have new agreements with Mastercard all over the world. Two of our companies were accepted to Mastercard's global startup program, which makes
we feel the same. We feel the same. We are sitting on the data. We feel the entrepreneurs, the investors inside and out. And I can tell you that from my perspective, seeing a larger picture but deep into the data, that I feel that the market is like a racehorse in the gate, like waiting for the door to open. It's like everything is a little bit stalled, but once the door will be open, the market will, the local ecosystem will flourish. I'm sure about it. I'm 100% certain about it.
I think we can also find it in what you say in your activities, finding the allies.
Yeah.
And one of the things that make, in a way, Israelis better and resilient is the sense of community. Either in conferences like this, that of course we know we would love it to be more international, less local, but still we're here for each other, and it's very important. And I know what you do is very important. What we do at the lab is also try to maintain this sense of community and support. And globally, we just need to find these allies, and I'm sure they will be there for us now and in the future.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.